HOA faked road work to block me. I bought their office and evicted the entire board. The Karen flowers bloomed in defiance along Faro Street, their purple petals a silent rebellion against the suffocating grip of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. I, Ethan Carver, had called this town home for a decade, but the HOA's petty tyranny had turned my quiet life into a battlefield. It began with a simple plan. I wanted to open a small coffee shop, a dream to bring warmth to our sleepy community. The HOA, led by Margaret Hensley, a woman with a smile as sharp as a blade, had other ideas. They didn't want riffraff or outsiders flooding their pristine streets. So, they faked road work barricades, signs, even hired actors in hard hats to block access to my leased storefront. For weeks, customers couldn't reach me. My savings bled dry. The message was clear. I wasn't welcome. I fought back with permits, petitions, and pleas at town meetings. But Margaret's board was a fortress of bureaucracy. Every smile hid a scheme, every rule a trap. My frustration boiled into rage, but rage alone wouldn't win. Then came the twist. Clara, the HOA's mousy secretary, slipped me a folder one rainy evening. "I'm tired of their lies," she whispered, her hands trembling. Inside were financial records, proof the HOA was misusing funds, funneling dues into personal accounts. Clara, a lifelong wallflower, had just handed me a grenade. Armed with evidence, I didn't confront them. I went bigger. I tracked down the HOA's office landlord, a reclusive investor named Mr. Grayson. He was old, cranky, and uninterested until I showed him the numbers. The HOA hadn't paid rent in months, banking on their charm to delay eviction. Grayson, unimpressed, agreed to sell me the building for a price I could just afford by liquidating my remaining assets. I signed the papers in secret, my heart pounding with a mix of fear and triumph. The eviction notice hit the HOA like a thunderbolt. I stood outside their office, the deed in my hand, as Margaret and her board stormed out, faces red with fury. "You can't do this," she shrieked, her perfectly coiffed hair unraveling. I didn't flinch. "I own this building now," I said, voice steady. "Pack your things." The townsfolk watched, some cheering, others whispering. The Karen flowers swayed in the breeze, as if mocking the board's downfall. For a moment, I felt like a heroic David toppling Goliath 25 Goliath. Clara, pale but proud, stood beside me, her quiet courage now a spark that lit the town's rebellion. But victory was bitter. The board's ousting didn't end their influence. Margaret's allies rallied, painting me as a greedy outsider who'd stolen their community's heart. They spread lies, turned neighbors against me. My coffee shop, finally open, was vandalized, windows smashed, Karen flowers uprooted and strewn across the floor. Worse, Clara vanished. Rumors swirled. Some said she'd left town in shame, others whispered of foul play. I searched for her, guilt gnawing at me. Had my vendetta pushed her too far? Weeks later, a note arrived in my mailbox, unsigned but in her tidy script, "You fought for justice. Don't stop." It was her handwriting, but no trace of her was found. Her absence haunted me, a ghost in the victory I'd clawed for. The shop struggled. The town, once warm, turned cold. My triumph felt hollow. Evicting the board hadn't healed the community. It fractured it. Friends became strangers, and the Karen flowers, replanted, seemed to mock my Pyrrhic win. I'd exposed the truth, but at what cost? The HOA's corruption was gone, but so was the trust that held Willow Creek together. I sat in my empty shop, staring at the deed, wondering if justice was worth this heartbreak. Clara's note lay beside it, her words a faint pulse of hope in a town now silent. What does justice mean when it divides a community? Share your thoughts on right, wrong, and the cost of standing up.